Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well and ready to watch and listen a wonderful conversation I'm here to have with a great author here in Kigali. Her name is Laurette Annely Akariza. Now join me in welcoming her to the show. Hi Laurette.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Umeze neza?
Bon,
Finally we get to meet.
Yes, finally.
And first of all, I want to congratulate you on your second book. Her book is called Rebounce. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I attended the launch and I can say it was a very good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So today, basically, I want us to talk about your book, the message, and different things that come about with writing. How did you where did you draw the inspiration to write a Rebounce book?
Okay, thank you very much, first of all, for attending the launch. I've seen you there. Thank you. You're rebouncing.
I am rebouncing?
Yes, you're rebouncing.
By attending the launch?
By attending all the shows that I've seen you in, and your contribution to this whole contribution to the country, to the world. Yes, Rebounce came from the inspiration of many people that I made after my first book, Urachi's Wait Under the Rainbow.
Yes.
Here you go. After the Wait Under the Rainbow, many people, they thought that I was old. Bambwira some stories about how they are living with traumas. Ariko, after all, humble resilience in the stories. The rebouncing parts were so vivid there. Ukumva umuntu yatangiye from scratch, ariko ngo afite abana biga bameze neza, or ageze ahantu heza umuntu wese yakishimira. Yes. And I thought, why not sharing these successful stories of Rwandan people to the world? Nabo bakagira some inspirations from there, bakamenya ko umuntu ashobora kuva ahantu habi hanyuma, from ashes akarising up.
You just mentioned about Wait Under the Rainbow. So meaning Rebounce is just a byproduct of Wait Under the Rainbow.
Yes.
Tell me briefly about, for a person who did not read Wait Under the Rainbow, and we are now going to talk about Rebounce. Briefly, what is Wait Under the Rainbow about?
Okay, Wait Under the Rainbow was my first book.
Yes.
It's about transgenerational trauma. So the traumas from the old generation. It's a collection of stories from the post-genocide generation about how they are inheriting the traumas from the old generation, which lived in genocide against the Tutsi. So it's a trauma stories about related.
Among all the stories you've come to collect, which one has stuck with you?
Yeah, there is a story. To those who read the book, they know Cyusa, the one in the story. The saddest part of the story is that it ended when the boy committed suicide.
Cyusa.
It's so sad. Yes, Cyusa in the story. To the people who read the book, they know him a lot. He's the main actor in the book. The saddest part that I said, committing suicide, it's all about traumas. Unspeakable traumas, unspeakable nightmares of people who didn't see genocide, who were born after the genocide, but they are living in those nightmares.
How bad is it to the young generation who are offsprings of the people who lived in the genocide? How bad is it?
It's very bad. That's why it's called Wait Under the Rainbow. It's very bad, and this world, in this Rwanda, a very beautiful one, it's rare to see those people who are suffering after all that we've got. But yes, the trauma, that's how it is. Healing is a process and it's a journey, and we have to come all together to continue the journey, parents and children.
Parents and children. Now there is a lot to know about Wait Under the Rainbow, a lot to discuss about what the young generation are going through, you know, the trauma, the hurt, the disappointments. I mean, if we get time, we'll talk about Wait Under the Rainbow as well. But what message is Rebounce giving to people?
Rebounce is giving a good message of resilience.
Yes.
After all that, after being wet under the rainbow, we get to know that there are people who are rebounding.
Yes.
There are people, the young generation, the old generation, there are people who are struggling to live better, to live a bright present and the future. So those are the people that we've talked in Rebounce, to share their experience, to share.
Would you say
their
it's
journey.
for all Rwandans, or is it youth or grown people?
To the world.
Not Rwanda.
Not only
Not
Rwanda.
Africa, but
Yes,
the world.
to the world. Because I know that Rwanda is a good example, a very
Yes.
good one. Maybe Rwandans may not know that,
Yes.
as we can see that we've came from far, but we can't recognize it. But people from the world would be inspired by that.
That's right. Before we came on air, you mentioned something to me that it's not about the genocide. It's just that you use the genocide that happened in Rwanda against Tutsi as an example. But for another person who does not know about the genocide that happened in Rwanda, how do you think this book can impact them? Where can it apply? How can it help them in what they're going through? Sorry, in the challenges they're meeting, that they need resilience.
Yeah, I think I was born after the genocide against the Tutsi, but I can see that it was the worst thing that one could ever imagine. You can see from the eyes of those who survived.
The stories,
Yeah,
what you
the
read,
stories
what you hear.
where we found Rwanda.
Yes.
You can really think about
Can only
the houses
imagine,
that
yeah.
you've seen in years back.
Mhm.
You can imagine how people are struggling in their heart, but yet understand that they can still wake up in the morning and find something to do and find something to work on, so that their children could live happily. So that, I think that's a good example. Genocide was the worst thing, and many countries didn't experience the genocide. Maybe some wars or something else, but not genocide. Genocide was very bad, and it's still very bad. That I think it's a good example to understand that someone came from genocide and still lived with someone who killed their parents, his or her parents and family, and they lived together, they built Rwanda, and they raised a good generation here.
I also, if I'm being honest, Rwanda's story is very, very, very. You can draw a lot of lessons from Rwanda's
Yeah.
story. You know, we like to use the quote like from ashes to glory, but it's reality. It's not
Yeah.
just words. You know, and I also think the people who experienced the trauma and the horrors of the genocide, they've come out strong. I think their progress is really commendable. What feedback do you get from people about Rebounce?
People are happy about this. The first thing, they're happy because it is said by someone who's not born before genocide,
Yes.
but after. Maybe it serves as a sign of resilience indeed, because they can see that they've transmitted something good to their children, to rise above what happened in Rwanda, to rise what we find here, the poverty and all. It's a good sign, a good example that maybe shed the light on the resilience of Rwanda. Yeah, that they are raising capable youth.
That's really nice. Actually, at the launch, there was one of the invited guests. He commented you, and I was like, she really deserves that, because there is no way you're going to tell me we won't be mentioning your age on camera, but 2 books today, 2 books. It's really, really something commendable. I really want to know, which is your favorite passage or chapter in this book, and why?
I would say lines, because I've failed to know my favorite chapter, because I would say that it's all. But the last lines of the book,
Yes.
I loved it when I wrote that. It really came from my heart,
Wow.
because I understood that someone would be reading the book. I was very sure that I would be someone reading the book, but I didn't want it to be just a book. I recommended that everyone who would read the book would draw some lessons from it and would aspire to rebounce as Rwanda. Because I said in the book that I want Rwanda to have a nickname of resilience.
You want Rwanda to be nicknamed
Yes.
resilience.
Yes, resilient, like Rwanda resilient, like Rwanda of 1,000 hills. In the book, there is a chapter of Rwanda of 1,000 resilient hills. Like everything in Rwanda should be named or nicknamed resilient, because I think it's a good example and a good lesson to the world of where Rwanda came in only 30 years. Yes, we're not where we want to be, but we're not where we were before. It's a long and a good way we've come. So the last lines, I really love them.
Wow, I'm inspired.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
inspired.
Thank you.
I really also think Rwanda is the perfect example for resilience.
Yeah, it's not hyping and all, but you can
Well,
understand.
you know, there are people who keep throwing stones about Rwanda,
Yes.
they're saying negative things, you know. And I think at some point they think that maybe...
There is something hidden in it.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe it's so good to be judged.
Yes.
Yes.
I think once you're not working, once you're not doing something, you won't be judged. But once you're doing something,
Yes.
you'll be talked about.
Yes. I agree with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So your favorite passage is, if people get a book, should they run to
The last,
Yeah.
yes. Not acknowledgement or thank you, but
Yes.
the last lines.
The last lines.
Here is it. Aspire to rebounce, be Rwanda, and
Aspire to rebounce, be Rwanda, and always shine after the darkness.
like be Rwanda. We should salute each other by being like be Rwanda, because be
Just like
resilient,
that.
be strong.
In Kinyarwanda, what do we say?
Okay, Rwanda, it's very hard when we say Rwanda. It's
Rwanda. Be Rwanda.
be Rwanda. Just be that Rwanda. Yeah.
In the book, did you share your experience? Like, did you talk about some of your experience, some of your testimony?
Yeah.
Which part?
I won't say because I want people to read it.
Yes. But then,
But it's in the first chapters. Yeah, I understood people would say, what do you know? What do you even know about resilience? What do you have to share, like you personally? What do you so interested in this? So I put it in some few lines of how I can see that I've inherited some resilience things, signs from my parents. Yes.
we'll start from there
Yes,
for people
for
to come
people
and
to
read
read.
them. So, as we come to the end of our conversation, what challenges have you faced in writing? This is your second book, but what challenges have you been facing?
Yeah, the first challenge is information.
Yes.
Where to get the information. I think to many people who are watching this, they will be asking themselves, where do we pass if we want to write a book? Where do we go if we want to publish a book?
Yes.
What's the requirement indeed? What's the money in to me? And all those informations are not online, are not on internet, are not on Google. So the first challenge was information. Where do I get those information so that my book can be qualified as a good book? Yes, that was first challenge.
First was to get
The
information,
the
to use
real information.
the real information.
Yes. Writing was not a challenge to me because I like it.
When did you start writing?
This one,
No, like
in general,
yes.
2018, November 2018. That was
Did you
when-
start writing when you were writing your book, or did you start with other researches? Right.
No, I was in secondary. I was not exposed to the researchers, academicians.
Yes.
Yes, I was in secondary. That's 2018
And then,
last.
because after listening to stories of young people who are struggling, who are going through a lot, you thought you could put all that in a book.
Yes, I first wrote some poems, but I've seen that my poems were very long to be just poems. I decided to write a book.
Wait Under the Rainbow.
Wait Under the Rainbow. Like the name came in my mind right before writing a book.
Where did you get that name?
I don't really know,
Why
but
did
I
you
thought
use the rainbow as the name?
the rainbow is a sign of transparency, light, prosperity, and good things. I remember a song that said, rainbow, we are wanting a rainbow from the prosperity. I don't remember that song, but I knew from a long time ago that rainbow is a sign of prosperity and light and all. So I would think
there are people who are in good things,
but yet they are not held.
Suffering.
Yes.
And then hence a title went Wait Under the Rainbow.
Yeah. It's a rare thing.
Yeah.
It's not speakable. Like I was going to say, stories that were not being talked about, were not being talked about on a daylight. People who are suffering from the traumas of genocide, yet they were born after the genocide. How comes that? Because many people asked me that questions. How comes you saying that? So that was Wait Under the Rainbow.
Among your what you do, there is mental health activist. Is it something that came after you talked to the young people who are going through a lot? How do you help them?
I think I've been having that passion of mental health supporting and all, even though I didn't study about that. So I don't help them a lot, apart from directing them. The information is the first thing.
Yes.
If you direct them to where they can find therapists, if you direct them how they can, some tips to raise them, to raise their souls, that they can do it, they can go away from those and start afresh and a good living without traumas.
Now this makes me so curious. When you tell me you help young people and you've written a book, it makes me curious. What about you? Do you struggle? And once you struggle, how do you go about it?
I think I don't struggle a lot because I'm busy helping others. Maybe I don't find time to struggle.
Wait, so you...
I'm very busy.
So you're very busy helping other people?
But I'm not helping that much. I'm not helping them that much.
Okay, take it from me. If you're writing a book, if you've written 2 books, that alone is help.
Yeah.
And now you go beyond that, you talk to them.
Yeah, I talk to them because they talk to me and I talk to them. It's not that difficult, but if it's a heavy story, like some stories are very heavy and demanding your emotions and all, so sometimes I would let it out by telling it to another person, a confidential one, so that I can be relieved.
So you talk to other people as well?
Yeah, professionals sometimes, so to be relieved a little. So others are not that difficult, it's normal stories that we live in.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about the fact that some people think that therapy is for the weak or not for a certain people. We'll talk about that another day.
Yes.
Tell me, do you plan to change your book in other languages?
Yes, I plan it.
Which other languages?
Rwandan and French, I think.
French.
Yes.
Should people expect it soon, or is it something that is going to take a while?
It will depend on them. If they read this, and many people ask me to change the language, I'll be having some budget behind to support it. If I get sponsors, that will be the best thing. I would first change it into Kinyarwanda so that some people would be inspired by a Kinyarwanda book talking about Rwanda.
Wow. Do you plan on writing other books, or is this all?
I didn't finish about the challenge. The information was the first.
Yes.
The publication is the second.
Yes.
So if the publication goes smoothly as it is now, yes, I'll publish many because I'm always writing.
So you are still writing?
Yes.
You're now writing on another book?
Yeah, another books. Like you can write on many at the same time.
At the same time?
And then later you decide which one to put out first. It's like music, I think. Yeah, you can be working on different songs.
So you can have an inspiration about a certain topic.
And another topic.
And then another topic.
Yes.
And then another topic.
Yes.
So today you write on C, and another day you write on A, another day you write on B, and then you go back to A, and then you go back.
Yes,
like
yes, depending on the emotions you're having, the experience you're having, talks you're having daily, and then later you find that book B is bigger than book C, and you've started on book C before book B, and then
the one that is complete earlier, you can release that.
Yes, if maybe the publisher would come and say, I want a manuscript that is in this topic, and he would say, yes, I have it, even though it's not that big, but I think I have to finalize it, and then you focus on that one that is a project to you and the publisher at the time. Yes.
For a person who may be wondering, is Akariza always writing, or what? What do you do when you're not writing?
I live a normal life. Like I'll be with my friends, I'll be working, I would be reading books and watching movies that I like.
Which movies do you like to watch?
I like crime fictions.
Crime fiction?
Yes.
Which is your favorite movie so far?
I've finished Fool Me Once, yes, for now. I will start to watch others that my friends recommended me.
Can I recommend you?
Yes, please.
Aki and Popo.
Aki and Popo.
Yeah.
You have to write that name to me.
You go and watch. You go and check on Netflix or which other site you watch Aki and Popo.
Okay.
Yeah. So, where can people find Rebounce?
Yes, first of all, they can find it on Amazon or other bookstores online. Yes, Caritas in Rwanda and in Huye, Kigali Huye, and also Kigali Public Library. They can find it there. Yes.
Winding up, I've noticed we did not talk about the title. Where did it come from?
Rebounce. I've thought about something bouncing back, like a ball, being down and being back again with so much energy. And I thought about Rebounce. I just wanted to name it Rwanda of 1,000 resilient hills, and I feel that the long name doesn't work, and Rebounce continued to be playing in my mind, so I decided to name it.
Go with the Rebounce.
Yes.
If it is in Kinyarwanda, what will we say?
It will be very hard because the translation is a bit hard. It will be instead rising up or coming from ashes to the sun or something else. But Rebounce as a name to be translated in Kinyarwanda will be very hard.
Okay. Yeah. Now this is the last question.
Yes.
Maybe to the young people who are following us, what message can you give them? As an author, throughout your experience talking to young people in different areas, what message can you give to a young person watching you today?
To the young people, sometimes they say that we are the future generation, but I think we are the present generation now, and our contribution is needed where we are, where we're standing. You may be healing yourself or contributing what would make you grow or something else, but you have to contribute something to the world, to the country, so that one day, if you're not in this world, you will be remembered on a good part that you did. So it's up to us now to show the world that we are able, to show the world that we are capable of even holding what others didn't. So we have to rebounce, we have to shine, and we have to be strong to continue this legacy of achievements and successful good things in this country.
All right. Allow me to thank you so much for taking your time to talk to the New Times.
Thank you very much.
I hope you keep rebouncing.
Thank you, Rebounce.
Well, this brings us to the end of our conversation with Laurette. You can find her book. She mentioned where you can find her. Also, she's also on social media platforms. And this is an amazing book. She briefly talked about it. If you want more information and more about the book, you have to buy it. You have to read this. So thank you for tuning in and watching. God bless.